Welcome back to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into something I'm really excited about, unpacking the 5 a.m. system, from surviving to building. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt just completely stuck in life even though you are working incredibly hard every single day? It's a wildly frustrating, exhausting place to be, right? You're putting in the hours, doing all the heavy lifting, but for whatever reason, you just aren't moving forward. Well, today, we're analyzing a framework derived from a highly impactful true story, and it shows exactly how a simple, highly structured shift in your morning routine can quite literally rewrite your future.
So think about this for a second. What would you do if you suddenly had 3 extra months every single year? I know, it sounds like a complete mathematical impossibility, right? We all only get 12 months. But see, this isn't about bending time or some sci-fi trick. It's about reallocating it. The secret to escaping a dead-end life and essentially generating a whole extra quarter of a year for yourself, it's actually hiding right there in the early morning hours.
To really wrap our heads around how this works, we need to look at the story of Thomas. Now, Thomas was a 32-year-old night security guard. He was working this absolutely grueling 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift at a warehouse. He was living in this tiny, broken-down one-room apartment with a flickering light bulb, just sleeping on a mattress on the floor. His shoes literally had holes in them. And honestly, the most tragic part of this whole situation? He wasn't lazy, not at all. He walked 4 miles to work, he stayed alert all night, he did his job perfectly. But he quickly realized a really painful truth. Hard work alone just wasn't changing anything. Without a strategic direction, all that hard work was just keeping him completely trapped in poverty.
Thomas's painful reality was that he was essentially living backwards. He'd get home, completely drained, fall into bed around 7 a.m., and sleep all the way until 4 p.m. Every single morning on his walk home, he had to watch the rest of the world waking up to live out their dreams. Families eating breakfast, people heading off to office jobs. Meanwhile, he was forced to sleep through the daylight. And to make matters even worse, his mother's health was declining out in the countryside, and he felt entirely helpless to support her. Every door just felt permanently closed to him. He only had a high school education, and frankly, he was just too exhausted to even think about changing his circumstances.
But as you know, every great transformation requires an inciting incident. It's that moment of profound realization that forces a permanent, no-going-back change in behavior. For Thomas, this breaking point happened on a really cold November morning. His mother had collapsed from exhaustion and stress, ending up in this little village clinic. And standing outside that clinic in the dark, quiet dawn at exactly 5 a.m., looking at his mother's weathered hands, Thomas was just filled with anger at his own helplessness. Right there in the early morning air, he made a vow. He said, "No more. I will find a way."
And you know what? That vow led directly to a totally serendipitous encounter on a 6 a.m. bus ride back to town. Thomas spotted Mr. Chun. Now, Mr. Chun was a wealthy, highly successful businessman who owned several shops in the area. What completely baffled Thomas was, why on earth is a wealthy man taking a regular city bus at the absolute crack of dawn? Well, Mr. Chun revealed that he was already awake because he got up at 4:30 a.m. every single day. He did this to read, to think, and to plan before the rest of the world even opened its eyes.
Then, Mr. Chun drops this paradigm-shifting piece of math on Thomas. 730. Let's break that down. If you dedicate just 2 hours a morning to yourself, that equals 14 hours a week. That's 60 hours a month and, 730 hours a year. Do you know what that equates to? That is the equivalent of 91 full 8-hour workdays. By simply waking up early, you are giving yourself 3 extra months of highly productive time that everyone else is completely wasting while they're fast asleep.
Mr. Chun used this analogy that I just absolutely love. He told Thomas that his life was like a dark, cold house that was falling apart, specifically because he never worked on the foundation. Thomas was entirely stuck working these endless night shifts just to survive, just to pay the bills, crossing his fingers and hoping luck would randomly strike. To actually change his life, he needed to stop just surviving and start building his foundation. He needed to use those 2 dedicated morning hours to learn new skills and actively take the steering wheel of his own trajectory.
So here is the exact 2-hour foundation system that Thomas was given. It's brilliantly simple and strictly divided. Hour 1 from 5 to 6 a.m. is dedicated exclusively to building skills that change your financial situation. No TV, no scrolling on your phone. You're learning a trade or you're diving into free YouTube courses. Then, hour 2 from 6 to 7 a.m., well, that's for building your body and your mind. You exercise, you read, you map out your day. Because let's be real, your body is your vehicle. If it breaks down, absolutely none of those new skills are going to matter. Now, Mr. Chun wasn't just handing out friendly, casual advice here. He issued a very strict 90-day challenge, governed by 3 non-negotiable rules. Rule 1, no negotiation. You wake at 5 a.m. every single day. Yes, even on weekends, because skipping a day is exactly how you fail. Rule 2, sleep by 9 p.m. You simply cannot cheat sleep and succeed. You need rest. But the trick is, you control when it happens. And Rule 3, push through the first 21 days. Listen, your body's gonna hate you, and your mind will come up with some incredibly logical excuses for why you desperately need more sleep. You just have to push through that pain until it locks in as a habit.
I won't sugarcoat it. The journey is not easy. During days 1 through 7, Thomas experienced pure, unadulterated misery. He was totally exhausted, sitting alone in the dark, studying free Excel tutorials on his phone while fighting every urge in his body to crawl back into bed. But then, this magical shift happened. Right around day 20, he woke up at 4:58 a.m. Naturally, his body had adapted. That early anger faded away, and he actually started enjoying those quiet sunrises. He lost weight, his mind grew sharper, and he mastered those new skills. And by day 87, he had actually used his brand new knowledge to fix his company's broken inventory system and was offered a massive promotion.
And get this, by day 87, Thomas achieved something completely incredible. He literally doubled his salary. Think about that. He went from being a hopeless, totally exhausted night guard, barely scraping by, to securing a daytime office job right there in the accounting department. And he accomplished all of this simply by dedicating those 2 sacred hours a day to self-improvement. No lottery ticket, no magic wand, just 2 hours a day.
Let's fast forward a year later. Thomas had become the lead accountant. He moved his mother to the city, got her the medical care she needed, and rented a really great apartment. But honestly, here is what is truly amazing to me about this whole story. Success is not a destination. It really is a daily practice. Even as a lead accountant, making great money, Thomas still woke up at 5 a.m. It wasn't just some temporary strategy to claw his way out of poverty anymore, it had become his permanent identity.
So you might be wondering, why does this specific window work so well? Why are these the magic hours between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m.? Well, this time block offers something you practically cannot get any later in the day: 0 distractions. There are no buzzing notifications, no pop-up meetings, no social obligations. The world is just completely quiet. Plus, your willpower is at its absolute peak, like a fully charged battery. Your mind is fresh, which allows you to do the deep, uninterrupted work that actually changes the path of your life. So how do we actually apply this in our own lives? Here's a highly actionable 3-step challenge that you can implement tonight. Step 1. Set your alarm for exactly 5 a.m., not 5:15, not 5:30, and put your phone all the way across the room so you physically have to stand up to turn it off. Step 2. Choose exactly 1 skill to build in that first hour, just 1, and commit to it for 90 days. Step 3. Protect your 9 p.m. bedtime fiercely. Cut out the late-night TV binges and please, stop the doom scrolling. Sleep isn't your enemy here, wasted evenings are.
So, what does this all mean for you? Your future self is out there waiting. Will you be awake to meet them? Look, Thomas had no degree. He had 0 connections and no money. All he had was the choice to wake up early and build. You have the internet, you have education, and you have opportunity. If you're tired of merely surviving and you are ready to start building that rock-solid foundation, commit to it right now. Decide what skill you're going to build tomorrow morning, and whatever you do, do not hit snooze on your future ever again. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.